Hi everyone. Today I'm taking you down to my creative area to show you how you can make your own like candle stands to give a little more decorative edge to your candles, especially when they're not burning, when they're just sitting there. Um, I'm going to start with my visit to Hobby Lobby, and I purchased these two wood discs. One has a crack, so I'll probably maybe decoupage that, this one paint. And then I'm going to take some of these wood balls. They have a flat edge on them, and it says that they're fun. So we gotta use them because it's fun. And then I will glue them on so this has a little bit of height. So that's one idea I had. And these, I'm not sure the diameter, but they do fit a 3-wick beautifully. I had found this silver plastic silver coated plate at a thrift store. So I painted it and I put on one of these transfers that I had left over from my jewelry boxes. I could use it just flat as it is, but I might stick glue on some of these to give it feet, to give it a little height, and put on a pretty spring candle. Upstairs, well, I have my girly hurricane. You see my girly hurricane, it has bows on it, very similar to this. So I found this at Hobby Lobby and I had to pick it up. It was $6.99, not too bad. It has pretty good weight to it. I don't use tapers, so I went over to the clearance section and I found this beautiful spring plate for like $3. Take some E6000 glue. This stuff is the Mac Daddy of adhesion. Wear gloves because when this gets on your hands, it doesn't want to come off. It's for fabric, metal, wood, glass, ceramic, so it's pretty good. It's transparent. So E6000, you should have one in your toolkit. Find the center of this plate and take some glue, put it around this, and let it dry. So then I will have this pretty stand, springy stand with my bow that I can put a candle on. The use for this doesn't just stop at your candles. I can use this for other things. If I have like little mini cupcakes, I can put them on this plate, candies, uh, or I can just have it sit pretty like that too. So the possibilities are there, and all it takes is some imagination. You probably have stuff like this you can use already in your home. Next up, I have this candlestick. I had them in different colors, but I just went with clear. So don't let that stop you because you can paint this. You can decoupage this. You can embellish this with ribbons, whatever you like, whatever your theme is. And this was only $2.49. So some of these plates I'd found on clearance, they were $2. You can find all kinds of plates at your thrift shop. Also, if I was making a 1-wick holder, I might find a teacup dish to put on here. Find my center, use my E6000, glue, let it set, and then I have another holder for my candle or whatever else. There are other things you can add to make them special and unique. You can take this is like a plastic ribbon with pearls. You can use a glue gun. You can put that around the edge. I also have some fabric ribbon that I could put around the edge and around the base too if I so chose. I have some shiny gold stuff if I wanted to make it a little more Christmassy. And I also have this, feels like suede-y. It's not fabric, it's not paper, it's somewhere in between. I could like decoupage this on top. This might look nice for fall. I have this vase. I got this for like $1 or something at the thrift shop. And it doesn't have a flat edge on it, but that's okay. I could use the little bumpy areas. And I have this plate is a little larger. This was $2. and I could glue it on there like that. So this one is a little bigger. So if you have a blue and white theme, you like Chanel today, this is an idea with some of the inexpensive vases that you can find at a thrift shop. And again, so that concludes my crafty segment on ways to uplift, literally, your candles. I am going to use my E6000 and glue this pretty bow bottom onto the plate. So moving on to the other holder, I got the stickers off the back of this, and you know what fun that can be. And I'm going to use my clear, again with my, I'm going to say, okay, that's center. And I'm going to let this one sit here and cure. And moving on to the wood discs, I am going to give it a coat of white, a base coat. This way it'll make a nice background when I put the napkin that I'm going to decoupage on here, because the napkin is kind of translucent. Speed painting. Okay, so I painted this all around. This was the one that had the crack. I'm going to work on this while I'm waiting for those to dry. I'll probably let them dry for a few hours, maybe even overnight. So, decoupage, Mod Podge. Now this comes in different finishes. This is satin, they have gloss, they have matte. I think they have some for, it's like dishwasher safe. They have different kinds. And I'm going to pour some out into this little container. Probably more than I need. Oh, and I also took some of those wooden balls and painted them white with the acrylic paint. So I have a napkin. I'm going to use a napkin. There's so many different beautiful napkins. I buy these usually on Etsy, or if because you can buy one or two. You don't have to buy like a pack of 20. And they have, you name it, you can find an image of it. Every season, every holiday, patterns, motif, yeah, it's all there. So I have a white bunny and a brown to white bunny on this when I open it up. So one of these bunnies will fit just right on this piece. So what I'm going to do is, since I don't want to use the whole napkin, I'm going to cut this section out so I can save the other bunnies. Save the bunnies. Okay, I'll put that one to the side. So the thing with napkins is they have 3 layers, and you have to peel the back 2 off for this to work. So I had started this. This can be tricky. This can test your patience. Oh, maybe I didn't start it on this one. Okay, here we go. So there's one layer. You don't need that anymore. And you need to get the other layer off too, because if you don't, this won't stick right on the project. So bear with me while I try to liberate the other layer. So with some fiddling and patience, I was able to find the second layer and peel it back. So now I have just this one thin layer of my bunny. So I'm going to put my bunny to the side, and I'm going to apply this Mod Podge onto only the areas where I want the bunny to stick. And I don't need a particularly thick layer. just enough to cover everything. Make sure it's all on there. Okay. So I think I got the fuzz out of there. More fuzz. The cat's been around. I love them, but okay. So now I'm going to take my bunny and I'm going to place it on top of this and just gently press it down. So now it is sticking on this wood block. And here's the trick to making it nice and smooth, getting all the bubbles and the creases out. Cling wrap. So you take your cling wrap, you lay it over it, and you gently push. So it's all smooth and as you like it, and peel it off. And there's our bunny. And now we are going to let this dry. So bunny is dry enough for me to work with. So there's a couple different ways I can remove this excess around the edge. I can take some scissors, cut around, and then go back in and make sure all the edges are nice and clean. Or there's another way you can do it too. You take a damp brush with water and you just apply it along the edge of the napkin, and then you just pull. So if you're not as concerned with the edge, that works too. So if I was going to put something here, some kind of ribbon or whatever, I would probably use the water method. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. So I'm just going to cut around. You want nice sharp scissors, so I use these just for cutting decoupage paper. So here we are so far. It's looking pretty good. Our bunny, very cute. Very cute Easter. Okay, so our bunny on the wood block is coming along nicely. So the next thing to do is to put a protective layer of Mod Podge on top. Now I apply a thin layer, and if I want, after it dries, I can apply another layer. Now I'm going to apply the painted balls. I'm going to put it on this saran wrap so it stays protected. And again, with my E6000, wear a glove. Make sure you have some ventilation. And I am going to glue them on all four corners. Yes, I realize what I said, all four corners of a circle. And ta-da! So I'm going to let this dry, and we're going to move on to how I styled all of these things I made. And here are some different ways that I styled the projects I just completed. The bunny, and now the bunny on the stand with this beautiful candle from Goose Creek. I love the label, how it illuminates. And then the plates are ready and dry, so it was their turn. Just simple, and it fit my Homeworks Fresh George Peach candle beautifully. And then I put some chocolates. I don't have any Easter chocolate yet. And again, with the white plate, the beautiful label illuminates on this candle. When it's lit, it's lovely. And here, just another little touch of spring. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, leave me a comment or two. What are your ideas? I'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching my tutorial. Did I say thank you already? Well, thank you again. Bye.